dollar. The first thing that many of you notice about her is her strikingly voluptuous red hair. This can be intimidating for a lot of people because of the scientifically proven fact that gingers don't have souls. But in reality, gingers do have hearts, and Lizzie completely proves this. She is one of the kindest, sweetest friends that I have ever had. One thing that I want to address today is the fact that I may have complimented her by saying that she reminded me of a cow. So, let me explain. Scientists have proven that cows' inner lives have been described as stoic, yet emotionally deep. I think that this applies to Lizzie because she's an incredibly wonderful friend. Seriously, it sounds bad, but I mean, she's amazing. She's always in touch with her emotions. She's always helpful. She's just like a great person, and her speech is going to be fantastic today. So, Lizzie, thanks for being awesome. And I know you hate sports, but I will come to every single one of your varsity rugby games in college.
Did you know that there's like a lot of you out there? Okay. All right, nerds, let's light this candle. Well, here it is, my senior speech, and let's be honest, what else was I going to talk about? So this speech is about my favorite thing in the whole wide world. Wait for it. Advanced biological neural engineering. Okay. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about that. I don't even begin to know what that means, and I'm not even sure that it's a real thing. Anyway, what I am going to talk about is Harry Potter and what it and other fictional universes have taught me. I think people fail to realize how important fiction is to us, and I want to help people realize that. So get ready for some serious nerding out. I got a copy of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I was probably 7 or 8 years old, so thanks, Mom, for buying that for me. Look at what you've created. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that I read that book the second I got it. I didn't. I read it one rainy day when I had nothing else to read, or anything else to do, really. And thank God I did. I picked that thing up and I couldn't put it back down. I finished Sorcerer's Stone in one day and tried to get Chamber of Secrets as soon as possible. I soon read every book in the series and watched all the movies, and my entire life was Harry Potter. And it was glorious. And in this Potterhead life I lead, Harry, Ron, Hermione, and everyone else in the wizarding world have taught me a lot. Even if it may be some so-called useless information. It is completely and totally useful to know the Latin to English translation for all the first-year spells and the Hogwarts motto, which, by the way, is Draco Dormiens Nunquam Titilandus, never wake a sleeping dragon, which is actually surprisingly good advice. Thanks to Severus Snape, I now know that Asphodel and Worm will make the sleeping potion so powerful it is known as the Draught of Living Death. A bezoar is a stone taken from the stomach of a goat, and it will save you from most poisons. As for Monk's Head and Wolfsbane, they are the same plant, which also goes by the name of acnine. Well, why aren't you all copying that down? I mean, who knows when I'll stumble upon a werewolf and need a brew potion to turn him human again. One of my favorite quotes from Old Sev is, I can teach you how to bottle fame, brew glory, even put a stopper on death. I'm going to get super cheesy for a moment, but just bear with me. Like I said, Harry Potter's taught me so much, like how to bottle my own talents, brew self-confidence, and stopper negativity. But the individual people within the wizarding world have taught me things as well. So let's start with the chosen one, the boy who lived, and then died, and then lived again. Harry James Potter. Harry taught me that everyone is worth fighting for, but at the same time we have to pick our battles. I used to be the kind of person who would get angry over every little thing. And without seeing Harry make so many stupid mistakes about trying to fight everyone's battle, I would probably still be that person, and frankly, that's just really excessively tiring. Ronald Bilius Weasley taught me that real friends are always there for you, even when you leave them. And vice versa, you should be there for them, even when they leave you, because you never know when they'll need you again. Hermione Jean Granger taught me that it is good to be smart, because you never know when knowing the answer will save your life. But she also taught me that the one thing that everyone knows you for is not what defines you. I was a lot like Hermione when I was younger. I was always the kid who raised her hand and knew every answer and knew annoying little facts that no one else wants to know. Actually, I still am that person, but that's why the recall exists. And believe me, I was that girl who fully understood Hermione when she said, "We could have been killed, or worse, expelled." Hermione was known to be the brightest witch of her age. She could have easily been a Ravenclaw, but she valued bravery and friendship above all else. That's why she's a Gryffindor. Me, books, and cleverness, there are more important things, Harry, like friendship and bravery. I could get into the whole spiel about everyone being a bit of each house and no house fitting each aspect of you perfectly, but I don't think you want to hear that just now. James Potter taught me that people change and that who you were does not define who you are. Just because you were a big bully when you were a teenager doesn't mean that you will always be that bully. One day you'll grow up to become the man who is ready and willing to give the ultimate sacrifice for those that he loves. Lily taught me that love is the strongest force in the universe, and they both taught me that there are some things worth dying for. In fact, everyone in the wizarding world taught me that. Albus Percival Wulfric Brian Dumbledore taught me that just because it is in my head does not mean that it is not real. I'm still trying to figure that one out, but it's a lovely thought, isn't it? And like Lily, he told me that love is more powerful than any evil. When I say I learned something from everyone in Harry Potter, I mean everyone. Even Tom Marvolo Riddle, or Voldemort as you muggles know him. Tom taught me that the thing we fear the most in the world is the thing we understand the least. Voldemort did not understand love, and that's why he was so afraid of people like Dumbledore, because they had so much love to give, and he hated them for that. Also, fun Harry Potter fact, Voldemort did not love because he was conceived under the effects of a love potion. Okay, maybe that's only fun to me. Before I say this last bit on Harry Potter, I need to bring some science into this. You know how we were told in chemistry that there is no such thing as cold, only the absence of heat, and frankly, that still makes no sense at all? Well, Tom is a lot like that. The most important lesson Tom taught me is that there is no such thing as hate, only the absence of love. Now, another universe that I got sucked into is the Doctor Who universe. I discovered Doctor Who when I was about 15 and fell in love with the first episode that I ever watched, which was Amy's Choice, just by the way. Originally aired in May 15, 2010, Series 5, Episode 7, starring Matt Smith, Karen Gillan, Alfred L. written by Simon Knight, and directed by Catherine Morshead. But it's not like I'm obsessed or anything like that. And like Harry Potter, Doctor Who has taught me so much. Firstly, it re-taught me something I already knew. A lesson that is very important, and I mean very important, in the world of high school. Never be afraid to act ridiculous. Who cares that you wear bow ties or pinstripe suits with red Converse high tops? Who cares that you frolic down the hallways and have some totally rad dance moves that you reserve especially for weddings? Secondly, Doctor Who taught me to always see the wonder in the universe. Because the universe is vast and complicated and really, really very beautiful. And when the Doctor finds a bright blue alien with 3 heads that can only speak in dog barks and lives on Rexicor Albatorius, he doesn't run away in fear or say, "Yeah, that's really weird, isn't it?" No, he says, "My goodness, you are amazing. Look at you, you beauty, you're wonderful. How do you exist?" This lesson leads to another. Everyone is important and everyone has the right to live. As the Doctor so eloquently put it, you know, in 900 years of time and space, I've never met anyone who wasn't important before. But in the same stride, everybody dies, and this is unavoidable. This is, of course, a terrible thing, but the good things in life do not necessarily spoil the bad things. One of my favorite quotations from Doctor Who is, "The way I see it, every life is a pile of good things and bad things. The good things don't always soften the bad things, but vice versa, the bad things don't necessarily spoil the good things and make them unimportant." But I think the most important thing that Doctor Who has taught me is that I am unique. I think we've all felt like we are just a blip in this universe's timeline, which, by the way, is a terrible word to describe time with. Time is not a line. People assume that time is a strict progression of cause to effect, but when you look at it from a non-linear, non-subjective viewpoint, it's more like a big ball of wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey stuff. But back to the point. There is no other blip that is exactly like your blip. As the Doctor told Mary Gallel at the Rings of Akaten, I'm going to tell you a story, one you may not have heard. All the elements in your body were forged many, many millions of years ago in the heart of a faraway star that exploded and died. That explosion scatters elements across the desolations of deep space. And after so many millions of years, these elements came together to form new stars and new planets, and on it went. The elements came together and burst apart, forming shoes and ships and sealing wax and cabbages and kings, until eventually they came together to make you. You are unique in the universe. There is only one Mary Gavelle, or Lizzie Dollar, or Diana Perkins, or Nikki wherever he is, or anyone, and there will never be another. People have asked me why I like fictional universes so much. Why does it matter? They're not real, so why care so much? And my answer to that is simple, because fiction is based on reality. These characters that I love so much, who have taught me so much, are based on real human personalities and thoughts and ideas. I love these characters and these universes because they remind me of myself. I see myself in these heroes and these people that are respected and loved, and think I can be that person because they are just like me. They are broken and flawed and sarcastic and love to read and smart and so human. I feel their pain and sadness and their happiness because they are so much a part of me and so much a part of everyone. Why is it so odd to like something that is so much a part of ourselves?